welcome again to another week of A Weasel, a Pickle, and Levi, a wonderful podcast featuring me, Chase, Parks, Pickle, Berwand, Nathan, Weasel, Vermeer. This week we come to you live in studio from the lost city of Atlantis. We have snorkels on. We're swimming around. Aquaman is nearby. We're all holding tridents. Bubbles are coming out of our faces. This week we have about 3 topics lined up because one of the hosts is lazy, possibly me. But we're going to start out with a shower thought from Reddit. So here we go, boys. You aren't paid according to how hard you work. You are paid according to how hard you are to replace. What do you think, Parks?
Oh boy, I was not expecting the second half of that quote. Replace. I bet some of that is true. I think that's definitely true in certain circumstances.
Okay, well, describe the certain circumstances to me.
Replace. So, if you live in an area where there are 0 civil engineers because they all flock to California or something, and you greatly help your city's layout or something like that, and you know how to maintain the water systems and stuff like that, then I mean you're gonna need to be there for everything, unless it's hard to replace you, I guess, is all that says. I don't know.
That went absolutely nowhere. I have no.
Okay.
Did you start talking and you're like, "Wow, I don't know where I'm going with this. I better figure it out on the way."
Yeah. Yes. I'm still trying to digest what that might mean. Replace.
My mind kind of goes to, well, if they could pay somebody less to do the same work, then they'd do that. Right? If it's a company that doesn't really have any loyalty to its employees, then if you could pay somebody to do someone's job for less, that's a smart business decision to fire that person and then hire somebody else.
Yes.
Well, there are laws in place that mean that you can't just fire people.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But like if a company might have an engineer that's been there for a while and they have to pay them a lot because they've been there a long time, but he's doing work that somebody who just graduated could do, like it would be in their best interest to fire that old person. But that's not legal, so that wouldn't happen.
I suppose that's true. As long as they're able to meet the requirements of the job, there are certain ways you can go about firing people, I know.
I know I would fire you immediately if I hired you.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. I had a question. Why did you ask Parks about work?
Oh, that's true. He has no idea what that is.
Actually, I do. I don't get paid for it. I'm paying to work.
Yeah,
that's what I do for Dort. So for tuition and stuff. Every student does that.
Yes.
Don't think you're special, Parks, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, Parks.
That's okay. Do you think about that in the shower, Chase?
I've never once thought about this in the shower, no.
Never mind. But now I will. I will be thinking about this every shower. So,
like a janitor, let's think about a janitor. They're probably not making a lot of money. And even though they might work super hard, they're easy to replace. Because almost anyone, I'm not going to say anybody can be a janitor, but almost anybody could be a janitor. It doesn't take like a lot of schooling and stuff. And so they're not paid a lot, even though they might, like an engineer might work. I don't know how you define hard work, but a janitor's job might be harder work than an engineer's. but an engineer is harder to replace because it takes more schooling and like a more special skill set than a janitor. Did that make sense, Parks?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I'm glad you asked like what hard work is, because yeah.
That's kind of what Parks was saying initially, supply and demand with workers. If
Yeah.
there's a flooded job market, then it'd be pretty easy to offer low-paying jobs, lower comparatively paying jobs, and somebody's still going to take it and do it. But if you really need somebody and there's not enough people to go around, then you're going to be willing to offer, enough money to incentivize someone coming and working for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what the question or the quote is getting at, but
yeah.
Yeah, I'm content with where we're at with this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to our quote, unless you guys have more to say. Good? Okay.
I'm good. Yes.
Yeah, okay. This quote is from our boy, Clive Staples Lewis. Did you guys know that that's what his name is?
who is that?
C.S. Lewis?
Oh!
His name is Clive Staples.
Oh, really?
I didn't really know that. No.
I thought you were saying, like, did you know that person's name is your boy? And I was like, well, I don't know who you're talking about.
No, I wasn't. Okay. Much confusion. Wow. Okay, this quote is from his book. It's not really a book. It's from his, pretty much, it was a journal entry put into 4 chapters called A Grief Observed. And it was basically his diary after his wife passed away.
Yes.
So the quote, "What do people mean when they say, 'I am not afraid of God because I know he is good'? Have they never even been to a dentist?"
Ooh, I like that.
Nathan, do you need me to read that again, or do you got it?
I got it. That's actually something that's pretty fresh in my mind, like the dentist part of that.
Did you go to the dentist recently?
I did. So, can I give my synopsis of that quote?
Please.
Going to the dentist is objectively good for you and something you should do, but it's not always pleasant. It can be painful.
Mm-hmm.
It's really deep, but the first thing that came to my mind was when I went to the dentist recently, they put the shot in my gums and they started just shaking my gums around and the needle was waving around in my flesh. And
Yeah.
I hated it, actually.
That sounds really wretched.
I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to like that kind of stuff, and it was no fun.
Mm-hmm. But you're saying in the moment you hated it.
In the moment, I was like, I don't care how many cavities I get. I'm never coming again.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I get that.
Some people really like, of course, I'd go back and get a cavity fill. Well, I'm gonna try not to get the cavity in the first place by not staying up late doing homework and drinking Monster anymore. It's the main goal.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen again, I'm sure.
No. That's a really kind of a sad quote.
Yeah, well, if you want to read something really sad, just read that like essay thing. It's quite depressing. But it's a very good picture of a man going through grief. It really, like, if you are going through grief, it's nice to read that. And like, he probably says a lot of things that you're feeling, but it's C.S. Lewis, so he says it in such an articulate way. It's like, wow, that I can really empathize with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You mentioned this before to me, and it's been hard to think about just the things you've said to me about it. I remember in the past.
About this book?
Or this little 4-chapter thing, whatever
Yeah.
it is. You've mentioned this to me before, and it's really sad. I would like to read it.
Yeah, I'd like to read. You could sit down and read it in probably an hour or two, and so it's a
Yeah.
quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd recommend it. Even if you're not going through grief, I think it's good to read things that maybe you're not feeling to help you sympathize with people or empathize with people who are going through something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's what reading in general does for you, is it helps you to step into another person's shoes and broaden your perspective on things.
I
That's
agree.
what
Yeah.
children's stories are made for, to help kids become better at empathizing with people.
I should read more children's books.
You don't have empathy, Chase?
Sometimes.
It's like, dude, so young children, I don't think, well, very young children don't have empathy, really. Like, they don't have the capacity, really, to have empathy, I
Well,
don't
I
think.
mean, most young children are selfish. I mean,
Yes,
we're all
Yeah,
selfish, but
exactly.
right.
they're just natural
And
kids.
yeah, and
They haven't
still,
learned to care for other people or understand what other people are going through or what
Mhm.
their actions do to other people.
yeah, I had for one of our discussion posts, I was talking about like qualities we want to keep from our childhood and qualities we don't want to keep. And yeah, so like kind of the selfish mindset of a child, like we're talking about, is not healthy, obviously, as we grow and mature. And then, like, still, we want to maintain like a childlike faith, like Jesus talks about.
Mhm.
And so I thought it's interesting. There are like different qualities we should try to keep, and others we should grow out of, kind of.
Yeah, what do you guys think Jesus means when he says childlike faith? Like, what does that mean?
Like being vulnerable, or just being, I guess. Mm, Actually, I'm glad you asked this, because I don't know. So the vulnerability is good to have, I think, in regard to just not even. I don't want to say not thinking about like what you trust in or believe in, I guess.
Yeah, trust is the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like they trust what their parents they trust their parents to provide for them. Like they don't even question that their parents are going to put food on the table. I mean, they probably really don't.
Yeah.
They don't know anything else really. I mean, unless like you grew up in a broken home. But if you've grown up in a good home and you're a kid, you're just like, I know my parents are going to provide for me, and you just
Mm-hmm.
trust in that.
Yeah.
And we're taught to relate to God as our Father, so I'd say that definitely has part of it as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like you don't want to be a child who doesn't know anything. Like we're called to like go from milk to spiritual meat. Like we're supposed to grow in our knowledge and our beliefs, and so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're always supposed to have that like innocent trust of a child, but we can't just stay um, sucking on milk for spiritual food. Like we want to grow.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we had to read some like writings from Kierkegaard. Do you guys know who that is? Yes. So
Yeah, we've read some of, I think I've read some of him for something. Did we read something for engineering from him?
I don't think I've heard of that name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost certain I have heard of him. Can't remember. But keep
Maybe.
going, Park. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. And he talks about he talks about an aesthetic lifestyle, kind of, which is a lifestyle that is focused primarily on being like entertained and pleased constantly. So like as a child, you kind of live an aesthetic lifestyle by just constantly wanting out of boredom, or all you care about is kind of being entertained, I
Oh
guess, in
yeah.
your life. And like that's not, as we grow, like that shouldn't be how we turn out, I don't think, at all.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't just desire wanting to be entertained. I would agree with that.
Right.
That's not our main purpose.
No, no, yes.
Sometimes I find myself desiring a little bit of entertainment.
No, I'm not saying desiring entertainment is wrong. Like that's
I
certainly
know.
part of being a human.
I know. I just always think of when I get too busy and then I feel like I haven't had time for a break. And I just always think, it's always important to have that too.
Mm-hmm. Leisure is something that's kind of lost on American culture. Like we just work and work and work and don't take time to have good, solid hobbies. Like it's either you're working yourself to death, and then all you do is watch TV when you come home.
Yeah. Living for the weekend too is something I see around me sometimes.
Oh, I see it myself.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't like the job you're doing.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like I desperately want to be an engineer after this summer because I'm sick of doing a job that I don't really care about.
And parts of your job too, right?
What?
Chase, do you think parts of your job are cool? Or are there parts of your job that you look forward to?
Yeah, like it's fine. And like when I get to meet new people who land at the airport and help them with fuel and talk to them a little bit, like that's cool. And moving airplanes around is cool, but it's just a lot of cleaning. And I'm not saying like that stuff doesn't have purpose because it does. Like I know I'm working and I know in all things I'm supposed to work for the glory of God and I try to do it well and with integrity. But
Yep.
like I want something more, like I want to use my brain more.
Yeah.
Sometimes at work, I have moments where I wish that I would have used my brain in the past hour. And I was like, oh, wow, I was just on autopilot and I did something wrong. So I have to. Okay, that doesn't happen all that. That happens more with like physical labor work that I do off the job after I get done at Musco. But man, if I would have used a roller for those windows I was painting, I wouldn't have to have been so careful and it would have taken so long, stuff like that. I called Parks and he was kind enough to talk to me as I was painting for like a good hour or so. And I couldn't really focus on the conversation, but he just kind of talked to me. True.
Yes. You were painting, right?
I was painting. Chase, you would have hung up in like a minute, say, I'm bored. Goodbye.
I probably would have. I would have told you to listen to a podcast instead.
Yeah, probably so.
Ours, of course. There are no other podcasts on this earth that are worth listening to other than ours.
Right.
That is true.
Right.
This people listening to this is the best 45-minute use of their time they could ever have. Really. Next to being in church and reading God's word and praying, this is right up
there. There we go.
A good family activity. I could see people, huddled around a fire and
yes, settled around the hearth.
Sure.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Each with their own respective devices, so we get more listen stats because we're trying.
You got to start them all simultaneously.
Guys, at what point do we start asking people to sponsor us so we can get paid for this gig?
Well, you're having your pastor on soon, hopefully, right?
Yeah,
you could ask the Christian Reformed Church to sponsor us.
Yeah.
Discuss theology.
With their what theology? What was that?
Since we discussed theology.
Oh, okay. So I thought you were doing a URC dig on the CRC.
Oh, I actually said with their garbage theology.
Yeah.
I changed what I said.
Okay, I have one more topic, and then we can call it quits or talk about.
Should I clarify that's a joke?
I would assume most people know that it's a joke. I would, because
that's good. Okay.
The denominations are. You guys came from us, so you can't call us garbage. Otherwise, your foundation is garbage.
That's true, I suppose. Like when I'm not kidding when I talk about the Wesleyan Church, but
Wesleyan
That
Church
you are a
is
Wesleyan.
literal trash.
What are you
Nathan
talking about,
literally
guys?
texted me, I am a Wesleyan, 2 weeks ago. Or 3
Nathan, I
weeks
would
ago.
disown you. I would no longer be your friend.
I know I would disown myself.
I'm dead serious.
I think Lindsay would even disown me. That's ridiculous, part.
That is pretty ridiculous.
Well, when we get to the throne of judgment, God will look at you, Nathan, and say, you texted Parks you were a Wesleyan that one time.
That's some strong language there, Parks.
No. Not that it's
It really is a bad thing.
No,
Parks, be quiet.
He would say, "I'm glad you were kidding because I don't like Wesley."
Oh my word! All right, we lost Parks, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Nathan, what have you been consuming lately for content?
Content, like content.
Yeah, media content. What have you been consuming?
I've been consuming FaceTiming Lindsay and playing Clash of Clans, and that's about it.
Clash of Clans, nice. You're still doing that.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Yep. I'm almost ready to upgrade to Town Hall 11. It's been a journey. It's been a year-long process of getting my heroes up, but
It's this life that we live truly is a long obedience in the same direction.
that's true.
We play the long game here.
Yeah.
Parks, have you watched anything lately? Read anything listened to anything of note that you'd like to talk about?
I danced for the first time in months.
What did you what kind of dancing did you do?
I did some backwards somersaults.
That's dancing?
And people say, yeah,
How is that that just sounds like a gymnast move.
No, it was in time with the beat to a song at the wedding reception. So you know how people get in a circle and then like someone jumps in the middle?
You jumped in the middle and did backwards somersaults.
I got shoved in the middle and everyone was like, whoa, and I was just
hitting the wall. Is that what you were doing?
And then I was just doing some stuff, and I did some backwards somersaults. And people, it was pretty crazy. I'm still kind of on a euphoric high after that.
Yeah.
But that's all I've consumed in the last 4 days.
Your consuming has been your own dancing.
Yes, and interactions with other people.
Okay.
I honestly haven't seen a movie in a good 2 weeks. I don't know, a week and a half or so.
You've been reading stuff though, I'm sure, for your classes.
Yeah, a lot of articles and stuff about different things. That's been good. I've enjoyed that.
I downloaded Bloons Tower Defense 6 for $5.
Whoa.
$5 on a phone game?
Yep, I played it for a day, was mad at myself for how much I played it, and then I deleted it.
You paid $5. Wait, okay.
I don't care. It was detrimental to my life. I'm not going to compound a bad decision.
Hey, that's good. That makes sense. Yes. Did you get to a certain level though?
I don't think I beat a track one single time. It
must be hard.
I tried to play on hard mode on one of the tracks, and I kept dying. And then I was sick of it, and I kept playing it too much. And I was like, I can't do this. This is consuming my life.
Was this the one with the aliens and the sheep?
No. What are you talking about?
That's my favorite tower defense game.
Aliens and sheep tower defense game.
Well, yeah, it's a good one.
I'll have to check it out.
You better write it down, Chase.
Yeah, and then I'll be like on next podcast. Yeah, I played it for 8 days straight, and then I had to give up my addiction.
I've been involved in Pizza Cat recently again.
Tower Madness is what yours is called, Nathan. That's what
Tower
it's
Madness.
said. What parks you said?
That's a
Pizza
thing.
Cat?
Yeah, Pizza Cat.
That
Level
died
300.
quickly, huh? We
Yeah,
played
that
that for
did
what, like
die.
2 weeks during quarantine?
That was fun though.
That was fun. Even though
I
the
would like
levels.
get mad at my homework and then I'd go play that for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
See, I would ask one of you two a homework question, and then I would go play it on Snapchat in our homework group chat for like 10 minutes. Man,
The
quarantine
levels.
was rough for focus sometimes.
Yeah, I mean I'm gonna say this publicly right now. It's at some point during the semester we're gonna get put online. That's my guess.
I bet that's true.
I don't think
have-
we'll get sent home, but we could go online, yeah.
We would be sent home if we went online.
That's level red is we all get sent home.
Yes.
And then there's the level before that where we go online.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck is the point of us being on campus but online?
Well, if you send everybody home, that's kind of a permanent decision. Like you're not coming back the rest of the semester for sure.
But I don't see how things can get better. Like it's not going to get any better.
Nope, probably not overall, but if there's no outbreak on Dort's campus, then you could still have classes and stuff. But let's say there's, 300 people with COVID at once from Dort's campus, that might be a problem.
Yeah, then everybody's going to get it. If there's 300 people with it, no way you can contain that.
Let's say, I don't know.
I'm gonna be so crabby this year at this stuff.
No.
So I don't want to talk about it right now before it even happens because I'm gonna spend enough time being angry this year.
Hey,
I'm just gonna go with the flow because I can't control any of it anyway.
And because your girlfriend lives on campus.
What?
And your girlfriend lives on campus, so that's nice.
That is nice.
I think I would be less mad if that were true for me.
I very much understand that sentiment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How often do you think you're going to be able to travel?
I would love to see her every other weekend, like whether that's her coming up or me going down, but I have no idea what Dort is going to say for travel stuff. We'll see. And who knows who we're going to be able to see on campus, like if we're going to be able to leave our rooms at night and go hang out with people. Because if we're supposed to social distance all the time outside of, or like in the classroom building and in the commons and stuff, like I don't even know what that looks like.
I think a big part of it is that Dort is probably just not going to have the big public events in the same way. And did you guys read that we're going to be taking temperature checks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think they're going to try self-accountability there.
But like we have to wear masks and stuff in class and be 6 feet apart.
Is that what they said?
I think so. Did they say that? I don't want to be spreading misinformation, so maybe they didn't say that, but they said to stock up on that stuff, I think. So
They did.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
It'll be an interesting school year, and who knows if it'll even be better by spring. So
I don't know.
Because it's not like it's just going to disappear over Christmas break.
No, like it's getting worse right now.
Yeah. And it'll, like either everybody's going to get it and then it will get better, or a vaccine will come and then it will get better. Like those are basically the two options. Otherwise, where's it going to go?
Unfortunately, I think that it's not going to work with herd immunity anymore because you can still get it, I guess. Like
you can get it again?
For it wear off. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. Okay.
Well, and there's probably and who knows who's right with that. I bet you could probably find 5 different articles saying 5 different things. I don't know.
We should make a podcast just discussing COVID and
Let's not. That sounds wretched. I'm angry we're discussing it right now.
Chase, do you still have Mario Kart on your phone?
That was some of my favorite memories from this last semester. Was the beginning of class, like right before class would start, playing Mario Kart full volume and everybody like me just looking like a complete idiot. I remember
Oh, for sure.
we were in 1641, that the room that went by Bunsen Brew, and somebody told me they could hear me playing that game on the top of the skywalk. Not skywalk, sorry, on top of Jacob's Ladder.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's
was
still
gonna
like a
say,
good
like,
distance.
what?
I'll
The
be honest,
skywalk?
it got pretty annoying when I was sitting right next to you and it was and then everybody was just staring at us over there. I was like,
Oh.
oh yeah, I'm associated with this person now. I'm sitting next to him. Okay.
It was so piercingly loud. I don't even get it.
Do you remember Dr. Clark coming and standing behind you?
Yes. Oh, yes.
I love
was-
Clark.
That
was
was a
like-
good class.
Yeah.
I like that class.
With cat pictures
Oh yes, meow.
and chickens and
Oink oink.
cows and
That was a lot of fun.
yeah, that was.
Oh, well, boys, let's call it a day. We've snorkeled, we've swam, we've dove through a variety of topics.
And until next time.
That looked horrible being under that house. I agree.
Yeah,
with
that's
Yeah. I wanted
Claustrophobic.
sympathy. I came out of there so dirty. I got in the shower when I got home. It was,
that. The shower was black, I'm sure.
yeah, the world turned black,
You were mining coal, basically.
pretty much.
yeah.